Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Learn to Code with Sagar. In this video we are going to implement dependent drop-down list, and classic example is country, state and city. So on selecting a country, the state for that country will change or appear in this drop-down, and on selecting a state, its related cities will appear in city drop-down. Here we are going to implement two examples, one with local data and one with API. So in second example, we are going to fetch data from API. Also, you will learn a lot of things about use effect hooks, because to fetch data on first render, we are going to use effect hook. Also, whenever any state for country gets changed, we need to update that in second dropdown. For that also we are using use effect. So before jumping to the code, please subscribe to my channel, because I come up with very realistic examples which can help you in your live projects. Also, join our Discord channel. The link is in description, where everyone in the group can help to solve your issues. Also, you can also help to others. In between, if you like the video, please press on the like button and provide your valuable comments. Let's jump to the implementation. I have already created a React template project with TypeScript. Let me delete the CSS and TSX file here, and in app.tsx, instead of this div, let me write just a sample div app. Okay, and we need to delete all this, everything. Okay, we are developing on 3001 port. We are bifurcating this application in three parts. First, we are going to create a drop down component. Then we are going to implement our first example with local database with local data, and in third example we are going to fetch data from API. So if you already aware about how to implement drop down, you can skip that part and jump to the other part. Okay, let me create here drop down folder, and inside that drop down.tsx, let's create a component drop down. Okay, it's a functional component, return some dummy text and export default drop down. Okay, now we need label. Okay, label, and then for drop down we write in a select. Okay, in select we have here option. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Like, first we are going to show label, and this label we are going to take from the user. For that, let me create interface drop down props. Okay, where we need label, which is a nullable. Okay, fine. Then we need options, that is not nullable. Okay, and the option is of type value. Let's create one more interface I option. Here we will need value, which is of type string. Okay, and this option will be an array of option. Okay, and this will show on the drop down. Okay, so let's write here, if we have options, before that let's take a props of type I drop down props, destructure it from props. Okay, what we need to destructure label and options. Okay, and now here we have options, Let's loop through it by map, and here we will get one option which is of type I option, and we need to like return option element. This is showing because we need to wrap this in bracket. Yeah, now in this option, whatever value we have, user have passed, that we need to show. Okay, how option dot value. Yeah, that's fine. And here this is the first option where we can add like select, and if they have a label like city, it will show select city. If they have a label like country, it will show as select country. Okay, so I am going to use here label, and at this place we need to use render the label, show the label. Okay, I think yeah, pretty much drop down is ready. Now we need to add style for it. Let's create one more file, drop down style dot module dot css. So module I'm going to use. Let me copy the style. Okay, so here are the styles. This class will going to get apply for the container of drop down and other select, and on focus these two such styles will get applied. So let's apply this container class. For that we need to import. I'm importing in import drop down style from file name drop down style dot module dot css. So there are multiple ways of implementing styles in React. I mostly follow this. Okay, so now here we need to pass the class name. In class name, okay, drop down style dot container. Yeah, okay, container. Okay, that's fine. Let's try to use this drop down, and before that we need to create one more file, that is index.ts. Okay, so users should not need to uh, follow the whole hierarchy to go to the drop down. So what I need to do is, we don't need to export here, we just need to export at this place, export. And now in index.ts file we need to export everything from file drop down. Okay, so we need to just come till drop down folder, not till drop down file, to get the drop down component. Let's call one drop down component. Okay, okay, drop down, and here we need to pass label. Let's name it country. Oops, country. And for options we need to pass the array of object, where we need to pass the value. So values, for now I'm passing India. Let's save it and check. Yeah, see here, we can see the country as a label, and in a drop down it is showing the India, whatever value we have pass. Yeah, that's pretty much for drop down. I think one more we will need, like so suppose if user wanted to pass selected value, correct, and that we need to take from user. So how we can do that? We need to take value, this is of string, and this value we need to pass to the select. So that value will be shown as a selected to here. Let's restructure it, and in select we can pass value, and here value. One more thing, suppose user want to want the event on change event. So how we are going to show it? We need to either add in this interface, or the other way is we can extend the props from react dot select. Yeah, it's extends from react dot select HTML attribute, and inside that we need to pass HTML select element. Okay, so whatever the properties of dropdown are there, all will get applied to this prop, and user can pass any events, uh, any other events like on change, or any other properties as well. So we don't need to add manually. I have in detail created a video how to create a clean and reusable components. So you can watch that. There I have explained in detail what approach we have to follow to create a reusable components. The link is in description. Now let's move to the our first example. Okay. Before that, let me do some small change. Let me remove this font family and save it. Check the font will get changed. Okay. And inside app.tsx, I'm removing this app. Yeah. Let's create one folder that is for example, and inside that let's create one example1.tsx. Here we are going to implement our first example. Okay, const example1 functional component, and return some div for now. Okay, it's a spelling mistake. Return some div, and export this export example1. Yeah, fine. Export default example1. For this example we will need data, correct? And that data I am going to write inside data.ts file, not a tsx. Yeah, so here I am pasting the some data. Let me paste it. Okay, so in this data we have a country list, then state list, and city list. So country list contains only a value, which is a name of country. In state list we have two properties, that is country and value. Value is nothing but here a state. And in the city list we have a state, and according to the state we have the value. Value is nothing but here a city. Let's export all this. Export, then export state list, and export city list, and just save it. Okay, and in example1 we need to import all that data. Import from data. What? Country list, state list, and city list. So this data, just for example, I have created. You can create as per your own choice. You can add the IDs, you can add more data, and you can do as per your need. So in example1 we have now the all the data. We can call drop down now. Okay, drop down, and here let's pass first label as country, and options as country list, and save it. And let's call this example1 from app.tsx. Now we don't need this. Let's remove it and call example1. And to auto import, let's click on control dot. It will show an option to import. Okay, let's click on that. Okay, fine. I can remove this import. Yeah, Okay, let's check it now. So here country and select country, you will see India and Germany, that two countries from data.ts. Same for we can do for uh, states. State, here we can pass state list. One more for city, and here we need to pass city list. Let's save it, check it now. Yeah, so here we have all the states, all the city, but this is wrong. For now let me comment it, because according to the country we need to show the states. Before that, let me add a style file, because of with the style file we can make it add some styling here. Let's add example style dot model dot css and paste it here, a container and header. Okay, let's save it. And in example one, here we will have header, and in next div we will have these examples. Let's remove it from here and save it here. Let's import the style. Import example style from example style dot model dot css, and we can pass a class name here, class name example style dot header, and for this container, class name example style dot container. Let's save it and check. Okay, now it is looking good. Let's add a header example with local data. Save it, check. Yeah, okay, fine. So in country we have both the countries showed here. Now on select on country select, we need to update the state dropdown. For that we can create a state list, and one function to update it, set state list. Okay, and here we have a user state which holds the uh, states. Okay, and we will need one more state which will use to know about the selected country. So here selected country, set selected country, and we need to use state, type is string, and by default I am passing empty. Okay, so whenever like selected state get changed, we need to update the state list. Okay, let's save it. Now what we have this drop down, and on change we need to write one function that we will handle the country change. Okay, and what it will do is it will just update this property with the new country. Okay, let's write that method here, and okay, here we will get event which is of type react dot synthetic events and specific for select html. Okay, html select element. Okay, and in this event we have current target, and current target holds the changed value. You can console it and check. Okay, so here I have the uh, change value. Okay, that we need to update in set selected country. Set selected country. Okay, like this. Fine, but okay, for now on changing this country, it will update in selected country. Now according to the change country, we have to update the states. How we can do is we can use the use effect. Sorry, we can use the use effect. Okay, so use effect here, first parameter is a callback function and second parameter is a dependency. Okay, and on selected country change, only whenever selected country change, we have to take the states according to that country. How we can do is we have a state list, correct? Not this one, state list. Uh, let's comment this out. For first we need to use this one. Okay, not this state list have the data. So from state list we have to like filter. Okay, and in filter we need to check like x dot country equals to selected country. It will give all the states according to this country, and I am taking it in selected, sorry, uh, filtered states. Okay, and now we need to apply this to the state. For that I can uncomment it and rename this name countries states. Yeah, and to update that state, let's create set countries states. Okay, and we need to call this method now at this place, and here we need to pass the filtered states. Okay, it's a country and value. It is giving some error. We need to add here a type. For now I am giving it any. Perfectly fine. Or you can define the type also, like type should be like a country of string, and value, that is also string. And here it's a type of array, so not like this, we need to take. Okay, at end array we can add. So this is how we can do, but it's better if you take this inside any interface. That's a better approach. Okay, so now we have the country states according to the change country that we can pass to the state list. Let's uncomment this one, first list comment. Okay, so we have states and here we have passed the country states. Okay, let's save it and check now. We have to try to update the India, and no change. Germany, no change. This is not working because in drop down we haven't passed the on change function. Let's do that. On change, this we need to pass to the select. Okay, here on change and on change. Let's save it and check now. Let's refresh it. Try to change the country as Germany. Now checks states are update Berlin and Hamburg. Now update the India and check Maharashtra and Delhi. If I click on select country, it is updating as select states. If I change to India, it will show Maharashtra and Delhi. Okay, now we need to implement same for the city. How we can do? First we need to take which state is selected. Okay, for that we need to add on change event, and here handle state change. Okay, let's create one function, and here also we will get event which is of type react dot synthetic event, and inside that html sorry inside that here html select element, and we need to hold this state in one property. For that we will need to create one more property like this, const selected state, and function set selected state. Okay, use state of type string, and default value is empty. Yeah, that's fine. From this handle state change, we need to call set selected state, and here event dot current target dot value holds the changed value. Okay, so now on state select, it this function will get called, and whatever the value is there, we are going to update that inside the selected state. Now last, we have to update the city list according to the change state. So how we can do? The same approach we will follow, just like this. Let's write use effect. Use effect actually work after render or on change or on update, component update. And here we need to provide a dependency, that is selected state. So whenever this property gets changed, this callback function will get execute, and whatever we write inside that will execute. Okay, on selected change state, what we have to do? We have a city list, correct, in data.ts here, and here we have state and its value, city value means city. So city list dot filter. Okay, filter. Now we have to take here x dot state for selected states. Okay, so at this place we will get const filtered states city, filtered city. Now we have the filtered city that we need to uh, update in the states which hold the cities. Okay, for that we need to create a one more state, const cities, just naming it cities, set cities, and here use state. Okay, use state, and for now it will be a empty array, but its type is it's a object array of object. So here I have provided the array, and which is of type, it will have the state name, a string, and value, a string. Okay, fine. Now update the call the set cities at this place, set cities, and there we need to pass the filtered city. Let's save it. Okay, we have saved. So this property cities will get update now. This we need to pass to the third drop down. Let me uncomment it, and at this place we need to pass it cities. Let's save it and check. Let's change it to the Germany. See, we don't have city now. Let's check for state. Let me use Hamburg, and in city you will see the cities of that. Now let me select Europe. Now select the India. It should actually show as select city and select state and select city here. What we need to do, we need to pass here a value which is selected country. For state we need to pass value which is selected state, and for city we need to pass value uh, which is selected. Okay, we don't have value for now. For city, let's create that one. Const selected city, set selected city, and use it here. Use a state which is of type string, and by default it has empty value. Okay, now pass this selected city here. Okay, and for city also, whenever the city change, we need to write on change event for it, and function handle city change. Let's implement it. Const handle city change. Here we will get event which is of type react dot synthetic event, and type HTML select element. Okay, and here we need to call set selected city, and there we need to pass the value which is in event dot current target dot value. Okay, if you are thinking like we are writing lot of code, a similar code like this, okay, and this, I will recommend you to create a custom hook for this, and for that I have already created a video how to create custom hooks. So it will save you a lot of efforts at this place. Something is wrong at this place at above. Okay, here we have made a mistake. Let's add semicolon at the last and save it. Let's check once more. We have passed the value for city, we have passed value for state and for country also. Let's save it and check now. I'm updating it to Germany, Hamburg and Harburg, and let's change a country, India. So you will see here a state change. Okay, now we need to update this as well, but you will see here a list. Okay, let's do some changes again. Whenever a country change, we need to set cities to empty array. Also we need to update like set selected city as empty string. Okay, let's save it and check now. When I change Germany and select country, okay, let's change India. We have Maharashtra here, no list, Maharashtra and Mumbai. Now change to Germany. Okay, this is change and showing the state as per the country and no city, because state is not yet selected. Okay, Hamburg, and here city as per the Hamburg. Okay, I think this is enough for this example. Now we will move to our next example where we are going to fetch data from API. Okay, now let's implement second example where we need to fetch data from API, and for that I am using the countries now dot space this open source API. Let's go to this site, countries now dot space, click on the API docs. It will show all the examples uh, to fetch country, states, and its related cities. So I have this API ready with me. For countries, I am using this URL. For states, we need to pass country at the end, and for city, we need to pass the country name and state name. Okay, I will provide you these links in the description. So let's jump to the example, and for this we need uh, axios. Axios is a npm package by which we can call the API. You can also use the JavaScript fetch, but I prefer the axios. Before that, let's create one more file, example2.tsx. Here const example2, return some dummy div, and export it. Export default example2. Okay, fine. Let's open a new terminal view, and terminal. Here just install npm i axios, so it will install this package. Let's wait, it should install. Okay, it is installed now. Let's create one file for api.ts file, I can say api.ts, and import axios from axios. Okay, and set their default path axios dot default dot url. Okay, and let's jump to our notepad. Here, if you see this much part, okay, this much part till countries is the same for everyone. Okay, so I am setting this path as a default path like this, and create one method, get countries. Okay, for countries we don't need anything. We just write like axios dot get, and here we need to create one URL. Okay, const URL, and URL here we need to add this positions for countries. I hope you are getting my point, and I can pass here URL. Okay, as this is async, we need to write here return wait, and this function should be async. Okay, so this should return the countries. Now we need to write one more method for states, get states, and for states we need here country, which is a string. Okay, fine, and we need to create URL, const URL. Let's check URL. So here we need to write like state q and then country like this. Okay, country equals to I can use string literal here this way, and dollar, and let's use country. So the pass country will get attached to this, and write return await axios dot get here URL, and function should be async. Same for get cities. For get cities, we need country and state both. So let's write get cities. This should be async, and here we need country, which is a string, and state, which is also a string. Okay, that's good. Now let's create a URL. Let's jump to Notepad. Here we have this URL like this. Copy it and use string literal, and at this place I need to pass country, and for state I need to pass state. Okay, and just similar like this only, we are calling get method of axios, and all these methods need to export. So I can export like export get countries, get states, and get cities. Fine, we have the API ready. Let's jump to example 2. Here we need a header and a drop down. Let's look from example 1 how we have done. So I can copy all this in example 2 at this place. Just to save time, and let's end this first div and one more. So okay, sorry, oh sorry, like this. Okay, now we need to import the example style from top. Here import this. Okay, it looks good now. Let's format the document and update this example with API data. Okay, fine. Now at first we need to call the get country. Okay, so how we should do? So whenever first time this component is going to call, after its first render we need to call that API. So for that reason we need to use effect. Okay, let's import use effect from React. First parameter is a callback function, and second parameter is a dependency. As we haven't passed any dependency here, it means it will render only once after first render. So this is the best place to call our API only for once. Let's call get countries, and it is imported from API. Okay, and in then block we will get a response like result, and let's console.log result. Okay, let's save it and call our example2 from app.tsx example2 and import this by control dot. Okay, let's save it and open our, let's refresh. Okay, fine, inspect it in console. Okay, in console. Okay, this we need to add a key for our options. That's fine. Let's refresh one more time. Okay, request failed with status 404 in network. See what happened, cannot get a positions. So URL is not getting append. Okay, I think we have made mistake in app api.ts here, not a URL, it's a base URL. Now let's refresh it. Okay, so see here it is refresh and we get data. Let's look in console. Yeah, so in result we have data. Okay, in data we have data. Okay, so data and again one more data. So we have result in data in result dot data dot data. Fine. So here we have data in data dot data. This result we need to save in one state. Let's call that state as countries, and method to save it is countries, set countries. We need to use state. Okay, for now empty array, not a problem. Let's call this method now, set countries here, and here we need to call the drop down, pass label as country. Options, in options we need to pass the countries. Okay, countries, I think spelling mistake, let's correct it, countries. And here, yes, C capital. Okay, fine, let's save it and check one more time. It is already rendered. Let's look, let's refresh one more time. Okay, it is not showing, but because let me show you the reason. We need to do some changes in our drop down inside network. Here if you see inside data, inside one more data and data, here you will see the country name is in with a property name. And if you look to our drop down, we are using here value. Okay, value. So that's why it is not, it is rendering but value is not showing. So what we can do is either we need to convert this data, convert this data according to our drop down, or we can modify our drop down component to in a generic way. So let me tell you one good approach. So approach is like custom key or custom value key. Okay, so user can pass this, and whenever user pass this, instead of option dot value I will use this key. So how we can do here, if we already have this key, custom value key, let's destructure it. And if we have this key, okay, let's use it in this way, option, and here pass this country value key, otherwise use value. Yeah, that's fine. And in options, it either it should be option with having a value key, or it should be any. So now you can remove this now. Okay, or you can specify as per your need. Okay, we will do one more thing, like we will not keep it here now, we just need to remove. That's fine. Delete this and delete this as well. Okay, now whatever custom value key you will pass, it will use that, otherwise it will take data from value. Save it. And in example 2, here we need to pass custom value key. Let's name it name. Okay, and now check why name, because here we have this name property which contains the country name. Let me close it and check now. Okay, now you can see the countries here. Okay, Now on country change, we need to call other API. How we can do is just like previous, we need to add here on change and here handle country change, just similar like we did previously. Here we will get, let me write in full way. Here we will get event react dot synthetic event HTML select element, and inside that event we have current, target and value. Now we need one more state to hold the selected country, and that we can do by this way: country selected country set selected country, and here use state. Here it is of type string, by default it's empty. Okay, and on country change we need to call this method set selected country. Yeah, so whenever the country change, we have to call the states. How we can do that? Use effect one more time. First parameter is callback function. In dependency we need to provide like selected country, so whenever selected country change, this code will execute, and we need to call the get states. Yeah, get states, and here we have to pass the selected country name, and then inside then block we are getting the result. We can do console.log to see the result. Okay, here we need to add one condition, and that condition is like if selected country equals to select country. Why? Because user can click on this one also, select country also. That time also our use effect will going to get called. We don't want extra API to get called. That's why we need to add this condition. If it should not be select country and selected country. Yeah, that is fine. It's no need of this, and inside that we need to call this one. Let's save it and check what type of data we are getting. Okay, let me delete it. I am selecting Angola, and here we get result. So inside result, first we have to go to the data, inside data one more data, and then states. So at this place we have a state. So how we have to go? Result dot data dot data dot states. Okay, let's write here result dot data dot states, and these states we have to save in the these states. So we can do like this: states, country states, and here set country states. C should be capital here. Okay, fine, let's call this one at this place. Okay, and the state should get updated at this place. Now we need to call a drop down. Label should be state. At this place we have to write country states because it is holding the states, correct? And we need to check where in this property, like in name, we have the states. So it is correct, custom key is correct. Okay, fine. and this function should be handle state change. Let's create this one, or let me copy this quickly. Let's rename like this, and whenever user change the state, we need to keep that. For that we will need one more state, like selected state. Okay, and at this place selected state. Okay, pretty enough. On handle change we need to call set selected state. Fine. Same we have to do for city. So whenever the state is changed, we need to call the API, and that we can do in use effect. So similar approach we are following here, and in dependency we need to pass the selected state. So whenever this value change, it will call the code inside the use effect. Okay, so one more condition here: selected state should not be select what is that name, state, select state, and it should have the selected country. Okay, fine. Now just call get cities. In cities we have to pass the selected country and selected state. Take the result in then block result, and just do console.log the whole result. Yeah, that's pretty much. Let's save it and check in the console. I am selecting country India. Okay, India, then Maharashtra. So you can see here our API gets called, triggered. This one, country, we need to look why this is happening. We need to correct it. Okay, now we have the data inside result dot data dot one more data. Here we have result, and the result is in the form of array, but we don't have this. We are not reading the array inside dropdown. We are reading array of objects. So again we need to refactor our dropdown list. But before that, let's save this data. So at this place we are getting data inside result dot data dot data. Save this data inside uh, cities, and here set cities. Okay, let's call set cities at this place, and one more drop down for cities. Here city, and at this place cities. For now I am not writing the on change. Okay, I am removing it, and no need of custom value key, because the result is in the form of array only, not a array of objects. So no need of this. Let's save it and check on selecting Algeria. We get the states. On selecting any of this, okay, we get the cities, but it is not showing because data is in the array format. So what we can do in our drop down, we can have a condition here. If so here in options we are getting array of object like this. If anyone is facing problem to understand, so we are getting data like in this way. Okay, this is the one way. Then second is like in this way, instead of value we are getting in by name, and now we come in a way where we have just array, not object, and here we are just having the like city's name, Mumbai, Pune, like this only. So whenever we loop through it, we get the elements here, and in this case the element is a string. So we can add here condition like if uh, type of option equals to string, okay, string, we will do here our logic, else just work like previously. Okay, let me delete it. So when we have a string, we need to write in this way only. We need to return option, and here we just need to write option because option is a string itself, and here we need to use the key because we are in a loop, and here also we need to write the key. So it should not show the um, it should not show the error in the console. So key should, we can take this result, all this result inside a variable like data, and this data I can pass as a key, and this data I can pass here also. I hope you understand what I'm doing here. Okay, fine, I think we have done here. Let's check now. Let me close it. Let's change the country to China, state, and here we go. You can see the city also. Let's change let's change the any other country. States are changed and city also change. So when I click on the select country, it is not changing. Okay, for that reason we need to do some modification, and that modifications are, so whenever the selected country change, we need to reset the data, like set this one, set country state should be empty, and set selected state should be empty. This is for state, and same we need to reset for cities, set cities as empty array, sorry, empty array, and set selected, okay, we don't have set selected city for now, you can implement that, that's not a problem. This is for it, and whenever the state change, we need to reset it first. Okay, this is how we can do. Now if I change the country and here state and one more city and come back to select country, so everything will get reset. So yeah, that's all for this video. If you like this video, please hit on the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.